Alright guys, welcome back to the Team M channel. Now I'm here with Kevin, aka the Paradox twin himself, Paradox. He is here to show his Megacolony deck that he used for premium today here in New York. And he made all the way to 21st place. He was almost there. So close.
I misplayed into Aqua Force.
Yeah.
Don't be like me. Don't misplay.
But he's here to show what he played with today, so you got what you guys can see, what he's cooking. And without further ado,
Alright, let's get to it.
Alright, papa.
So you gotta have your quick shields, protect ones, because if you're using two, you're throwing, and your cradles.
Dang.
Right.
Oh, that's the profile.
Yep, that's it. We're done. G-Zone. So.
You might want to invert them so
Okay.
people can see them.
Sure, let's invert it. Alright, so G-Zone. I only run 4 G-Guards. I really want to bump him to 2, but G-Zone space is tight. Update later, maybe back to 2. We'll find out. But you need this because he is too good. 30k shield's broken. This G-Guard will save you when you don't have a way to high-class Moth, so you need that counter charge against Chaos Breaker.
Oh, okay.
And then the back row rester. Most of the time, this won't pop up, but when it does, it's okay. But normally, he's flip fodder. And then the free one, because sometimes soul hurts, so you just gotta get the free G-Guard. Alright, G-Unit. Yes. If you're cutting her out for your extra copy of your G-Guard, I would not advise it. Having a card that allows you to draw cards is good. Drawing cards is good. And when you play against decks like Chaos Breaker that lock your front row, you really want the power. Alright, if you actually get the Dark Face, cool. Beans, you get the Protect gifts and all the fun stuff. His on-hit is worthless for the most part. You got your Messiah here. You gotta get your crest. You never actually go into the Messiah match because all you do is, the Chaos match. All you do is help them. So yeah, no, I beat Chaos by deck out. I actually, well, not deck out. He almost decked out, but by damage time. You don't want to really strike this. It's not that big of a deal. You gotta run at least 2. Sometimes you need the free flip, so you strike that for the flip. But yeah, he's normally just flip fodder. Good resource. You like, having counter blast and stuff.
Also minus in your opponent 10.
Yeah, that's good. All right.
There she is.
The queen. She's how you win. And until Bushiroad does something, you just play her at 4 because 4 and your opponent suffers. Sorry to all those people that like to call stuff. Yeah, it doesn't go too well.
How do you feel about people wanting her banned?
I don't care, ban or whatever. Alright. Lawless. If you're not running this, you need to run it. Because this won me a game.
Okay.
So round 1 I fought golds, and they decided they didn't want to have a board anymore. They just wanted to swing their Vanguard. And I said, okay, well, now you don't have a board. So it allowed me to build my hand up and then kill him on the next stride. So you never know when he might just steal a game.
And it's because he prevents any kind of call, right?
Exactly. No rear guards.
Dang.
Then the real kill shot, if you're not running your GB8, you're throwing, because you need this into every grind game. Once you start grinding with mirror matches or Chaos Breaker or whatever, you're going to want this. And if you don't run this, and you get to the point where you could have done it, and then you lose, remember, I told you, you should have ran this.
Okay.
Main deck, starter, draw cards, quick shield, yeah, the fun stuff. Shadow, okay. Run this. As you see in the top 8, you'll see in a little bit. Thanks, Fuzzy. This will save you to the DP matchup. If you're not running this, you're throwing. You need to be running this. If you fight anything that can retire Guardians or attack you more than twice, like Grand Blue because they can't do anything else, you're going to wish you had this. Alright, triggers. 4 heal guards. If you want to run the one of the mine, go for it. I personally am not that big of a fan because of my list already soul charging. I don't need the soul. But it would be nice into the chaos match. So if you're feeling like you're not going to get rushed down and that you really don't need to see this card, sure, run the other one. draws because they had to screw me over. I'll get to that in a sec. But yeah, we gotta run draw triggers again. Because this is how they screwed me. I love running crit sentinels in Megacolony, and then they said, hey, this exists. So now I'm kind of in the awkward zone where I'm like, this is pretty broke, so I really want it. And if I do this, I can't do this. So now I have to run these. At like 12 crits. If you know what this does, get out from underneath the rock. Everyone's playing it.
Savage.
It's fast. Run this because I still want more crits. Red OT. Okay, Red OT, it helped me in some matches, but I'm actually considering either playing Stokeo OT back or Blue OT back. The reason why is because this doesn't gain crit. So in the control matchup, when you're getting locked down, this is kind of dicey. So this was a win more card that doesn't win more when you don't have rear guard circles. And more crits because crits. Stride fodder is important. Run this in the mirror match. If you're not running 4, you're throwing. Alright. Elementarium. Don't take this out. I know you want more grade 1 space, but this is free. Everyone strides. So yeah, free guarding's free guarding. Hanale. So this really didn't come up at all today. At all. It didn't help me for most of the games. And then one game I did use it against Gear Chronicle. He just played around it and killed me anyways. So thanks, Hanale. The flimsiest shield in the West. And alright, blister time. So people seem to forget that OG exists. Not even talking about people that play Megacolony, because we know it exists, but people that play into Megacolony, they seem to forget that these exist. And be smart. Play around Blister if you want to win, because if you don't, you're probably going to lose. Then OG Blister, this is hands down a lifesaver, but it's niche. So if you want to cut one, I'd rather cut this one before I cut the Shadow Elemental. And now, the lifeline of the deck. If you're not running high class, I don't know how you're getting your counterblast, but yes, returning cards to prevent deck out and countercharging is very nice. And you stop pesky intercept effects. It's pretty good. Stride fodders. Yes, I do not run the top 5 searchers. I understand their 10 shields and they can fetch me heal guards, but he lets me stride. And into the mirror match, this came up. I like striding without pitching 3s into the mirror match because every 3 in your hand matters because you're going through 4 turns of Ghidorah. Alright, now you get to see I play Flagcolony. Did this matter? Did he ever do anything today? Nope, he sure didn't. And the reason why is because he's a 2-up. So I never really saw him. So it never came up. And then whenever I did have him, either I didn't have a board to call him to, or I didn't have the counterblast to afford his effect. So yeah, this didn't really work. I'm not too happy with how this card performed, but it can pop off sometimes when it does work. Alright, the battle rest. This needs to go up. There's so many games today since I fought the mirror match and chaos where, like, oh my god, I want to just deck them out so bad. And running this as a 1-up backfired. So this will be going up. I'm not sure how I'm going to change my deck in the future, so I can't tell you what to do now, but yeah, you're definitely going to want to run more than one. Alright, Stamping Red. So I know people are playing Garafa instead of Stampeding, which is fair into the control matchup because, you know, big power because they have rested rear guards, you get to draw a card. But when you're fighting the non-control matchups and you're playing aggro, this matters. Being able to cradle is good. Telling your opponent to lose their key rear guards is good. And having 15k attacks because reasons is good. Definitely when you are a Protect clan going against Force clans. Now, the best grade 2 in the deck? Yes, I only ran 2. but it's also because my deck space is very limited. This card is fantastic. It will eat all your soul. You will give all the soul to this card for the most part because you like to draw cards. But depending on your opponent, they can really play around her and make her not as good. But 9 times out of 10, if they're going to swing at a rear guard, it's always her. So she always catches something.
Can confirm.
And then the 2 Mantis. So Mantis didn't really come up today. I've ridden him multiple times and I used this effect, and it normally hit. So it's hard to say how useful he is versus maybe bumping up some of the other grade 2s. But I'm going to be trying without him in a little bit and see how that goes. But, yep, I played this today. Now grade 3s, the Dark Face. Help me get the USB, that'd be great. But, yeah, this Dark Face, it's nice, but since he was a 1-up, I pretty much never really got to go into him because I fucking lost a die roll every game. Like, I barely won the die roll today. And so this is just a dead card in my deck because he's not the main grade 3 in my list. So, yep, be careful when you run other Vanguard targets. The Hell Demise and the Scissors. So I run both because my deck generates a lot of soul. So I don't need to choose between them. I like using both of them. It normally does not backfire. Definitely as long as you have the high class, you're good. I like having extra power. If I change from Flagberg, this would change. But if you play Flagberg, you have Inlet. So as long as you have Inlet, you can play this. And now, the shiny cards, thanks to James here.
The beauties.
Look at the shinies. So Inlet as a 3-up is good. You do not want more than 3 of him. This is a fantastic card. Being able to multi-attack and draw cards is good. It helped me so much against Daihosen. Yep, the Mad Lad playing Daihosen at the tourney. This clutched.
Shout out to that guy.
And yeah, it goes to soul. It draws you cards. You multi-attack. It's really good. Just remember that if your opponent's not a grade 3, it doesn't work. I forgot that against Aquaforce, and he real sharked it, and I cried. And then the 4 shiny Flagbergs.
Oh, beautiful.
So I really like the Persona Ride mechanic, and because I also can gain access to Inlet, it makes this a really nasty combination of just pure power and multi-attack. And then even if the off chance you go first and you have to ride this, it's not the worst case scenario, because even if you can only attack 3 times, you can still use this Counterblast to draw skill if you have the extra Counterblast. But he's mainly in here just for the Persona Ride, plus 10 draw, and then multi-attack Inlet. I'm going to go over my rounds. I'm going to pull up on my phone here.
All right. This is the part I was waiting for.
So I fought Gold round 1, and I won because, like I said earlier, Lawless is a thing. So he said, haha, I'm going to attack. I'm going to call 2 cards, and then this one's going to soul charge, and this one's going back to my hand. And I'm like, cool, Lawless. And then he's like, oh, crap, I don't have a board. And then I was like, okay, cool, my turn. Now I'm going to Ghidorah you. And that was it. His turn ended there. Game 2, I lost his teammate. Actually, the person who took first in V in New York. I fought him in tourney, and he proceeded to high roll me to hell. So, good job to you, buddy. I did not stand a chance. When all your cats are hopping off, you got the 1-up. You called the other cat. They're all still hidden. You hit the blue OT on me. Like, yeah, there was no recovery in that game. Round 3, I fought Grand Blue. It was a Turbo Navigator Mill deck. So she went for it. She got to 30, but she realized I don't have any deck left, and I'm fighting Ghidorah. So I don't think she really thought that one through, but you know, shit happens. Then round 4 is when I fought Daihosen, and holy crap, that's scary. Discarding cards because you called cards is not good. Definitely when you're holding on to shield and PGs and you're like, crap, I gotta discard something. and ended up winning that one. The way I ended up winning was because, remember, guys, tokens save life. If you fight Nubatama and you're going second and you're not holding these, I don't know why you thought that was okay.
This guy.
And then I fought Chaos, which I mentioned earlier. So it went into time and went into turns, and I was able to finally get to a point where he didn't lock my whole board. And I had both of my front rows open and my boosters open, and he had no counterblast. And I GBA'd him, and he went to 5, and I was at 4. So I won by damage. I had less. Yeah, Chaos sucks. There is no outs in Megacolony besides Ghidorah him, which, cool. Like, nice, bro. You're grinding with Ghidorah on him, but that means you're spending more soul and more counterblast. Just take it rigorously. Like, I guess, man. Let's see. Then the next round is when I fought Megacolony. So I had a really good start. I hit my overtrigger on him, and then my first stride, I double critted him. I thought he was dead. Then he OT healed, and then 6 damage healed, and lived. And then it went into my turn. I'm like, I'm dead. Then I 6 damage healed on him, and then it proceeded towards deck out. My opponent decided to use his crit soul charge to draw a card, and he did it twice, and proceeded to deck himself out.
Yeah.
That game was his. Like, he had it. I was not going to win that game. I did not see my Persona rides. All 3 of them were still left in my deck. And mind you, I had less than 20 cards in deck, and all 3 were still in there. So
yeah.
I had to start writing inlets and heal triggers just to have a standing Vanguard.
That's rough.
And next game, I ended up fighting Thavis. And, yep, I screwed that all up. I decided, I was like, oh, I could grade 2 game him. I'm going first. He was riding the Magnolia ride down package still. He was running it. And that went against me pretty bad. And then he finally got to his first ride. I overwhelmed the Drew hand because I just assumed he would still make a play and kill me, so I needed a hand. And yeah, it was just, by that point, I was so shook that it was over. I wasn't winning. Too many mistakes. You gotta play smarter. Then last game was against Neo Nectar. I won the die roll, so he couldn't even use his best stride against me because Ghidorah says no. He had the leap up. He leaped up to 3 and he cycloned me, and I lived, and then I Ghidorah'd him, and then his deck turned off. So, but that wraps it up. I got 21st place. I definitely will be changing some things with the list. I don't know if I'm still going to be playing Flag or not, but I will be changing the list. And hopefully I'll do better at Houston and Georgia. So that wraps up this list today.
Alrighty. Well, thank you so much for taking the time tonight to go over the list with us and your experience in the tournament today. Guys, if you like this type of content, please like, subscribe, make comments. We read the comments, we swear. At least I know I do. But yeah, thank you so much again, Kevin, and you have a good night. Take care, everyone.
Time to go.